Hey friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some very simple, easy to make high protein meals that I have enjoyed over the last week. Foods that I have made for myself and also for my kids and my husband. I am a mom of 4 if you're new here. I eat a high protein diet and I love health and fitness and building as much muscle as possible. We all know how important that is, and you can't do that without eating enough protein. I do enjoy cooking and eating healthy and feeding my family well, but I also enjoy spending time with my kids and being outside and not spending too much time in my kitchen, especially at this time of year. So today's video is all about keeping things very simple, but also delicious. So here are some high protein, healthy meals that I have enjoyed as a busy mom of 4 over summer break. So I'm gonna start today's video with my latest obsession, and that is overnight oats. If you've been watching my channel lately, you have seen me make overnight oats and chia seed puddings a lot lately. And it is for good reason, okay? I love these things. They're so easy to whip together and they have tons of protein. They taste delicious. For me, it's kind of like having a little dessert, and it makes for the perfect pre-workout snack. If you're like me, maybe you have been getting up a little bit earlier than usual to try and get your workout in or have some time alone before all of your kids wake up on summer break. And honestly, girls, this has been the reason I have got my butt out of bed for most of those early mornings, because I'm so looking forward to having some quiet time with a cup of coffee and these delicious oats. So to make them, all you have to do is, first of all, make a double batch, because one will not be enough. Trust me, you're gonna wanna have 2, and that's what I'm doing today. So I've measured out my oats. I'm adding in some chia seeds and a scoop of protein powder. And if you want the exact measurements, it is in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. And then I'm also using a low-fat, high protein milk. I used to go for an almond milk or some kind of nut milk, but I honestly prefer the cow milk now so much more because of the extra protein that it's going to give you. And then for a little bit of sweetness, I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of maple syrup, and then I'm also adding in a little splash of vanilla extract. You stir everything together, and then I divide it between 2 containers, pop a lid on, stick it in the fridge anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, or what I like to do is leave it overnight, and then by the morning it has thickened to the perfect consistency. The chia seeds will expand, the oats will soften with the milk, and then I like to top mine with some fresh berries. Whatever I have in the fridge, whether that's strawberries or blueberries, any berries will work. Honestly, having these in my fridge ready and waiting for me for those early mornings where I don't want to get out of bed and I could come up with a million excuses, just knowing that I have this in my fridge ready to go is the extra motivation to get up early and to start my day on the right foot. Just got back from the grocery store and grabbed a few things for dinner tonight. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have had like zero inspiration for cooking lately. I just want to spend all of my free time outside around the pool. We've been out on the boat with the kids. I just don't really feel like being inside cooking at all. So I'm trying to get creative with meal ideas that don't take a lot of time to cook. I've got some chicken here that I just pulled out of my freezer, and I'm gonna use my slow cooker and make a pulled chicken with it. And I have a big jar of salsa. And for convenience, I also grabbed just a taco seasoning pack, and I'll just throw in the seasoning mix in the slow cooker. Chicken goes in, pour in a jar of salsa, turn it on high for 3 hours. The easiest way to make pulled chicken. So I'm gonna do that now, and then for dinner, we will just put the pulled chicken in tortillas and make burritos. So I have some beans and other toppings and ingredients that I'll just add in the burrito. We'll toast them up. It's a really simple lunch or dinner meal idea that doesn't take too much time to make. I am thinking I want to try and make like a Mexican inspired rice to go with it as well. We'll see if that happens. Okay, spoiler alert, I did go ahead and make the Mexican rice. It was really simple to make and it turned out so yummy, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. Let's talk about the chicken first. You just put your chicken breast in a slow cooker and add a jar of salsa. I think I probably could have done 4 or 5 for the amount of salsa that I used, but I only had 3, so that's what I did. I added in 1 packet of taco seasoning along with 1 large jar of salsa, put it on high for a few hours, and that's it. You don't have to do anything until it's time to shred it once it's finished cooking. I don't think dinner could get any easier than that. So let's get a little bit fancy here with our sauce. What I like to do is create different sauces or dressings with my cottage cheese, and sometimes I'll do the same thing with my Greek yogurt. So I went ahead and made a cilantro lime creamy cottage cheese aioli or dressing or sauce. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but it was good, okay? It was so good. One of the reasons why I like to make my own sauces and dressings at home is not only can I control the ingredients that go into them, it's also just a really easy way to add extra protein to any meal. You know, instead of grabbing a store-bought dressing that's usually really high in calories and fat, and most of the time they're made with oils or ingredients that I can't even pronounce, instead I just use a cottage cheese as the base. It's an easy way to add extra protein, and our little secret, I did not tell anyone in my household that this was made out of cottage cheese, and nobody noticed. Everybody ate it, including all of my kids. So that's a win in my books. Now, just a note, I decided to pull out my food processor for this, but I think I would recommend using just a blender because I do find that food processors are a bit of a pain in the butt to clean, and you don't really need it for this recipe. So that was my one regret, because on these busy days, I want to have the least amount of dishes as possible, and the food processor, yeah, not so much. Anyways, I just added in a little bit of water to thin it out until it was the right consistency. I always give everything a taste to see if it needs a little bit more salt. Blend it up until smooth, and then I'm just going to set this aside, and I will be using this inside of the burritos, and you could also use it as a dip. And if you have extra, I'm going to be sharing this a little bit later in my video, but you can turn this into a salad dressing, so just store it in the fridge. And then what I like to do is thin it out with a little bit more lime juice. You could add some olive oil, and it makes the perfect salad dressing as well. Okay, let's talk about the Mexican rice. So I wasn't planning on making this. I was going to just buy the pre-made rice packs, which I don't typically buy, but I was thinking for busy days it might be convenient to have something like that in my cupboard. However, I took a quick look at the ingredients on the back. No, I think I'll just make my own, and I'm so glad that I did because it really took no extra time. Rice is one of my favorite carbs for busy nights anyways, and by just using a few extra spices, substituting some of the liquid for tomato sauce, it turned into an amazing, flavorful Mexican rice, and I'm definitely going to be making this more often. However, I do want to mention this isn't like an authentic Mexican rice, so if you are Mexican, maybe you can share how to actually make Mexican rice. Definitely not claiming to be any part Mexican here, I just love Mexican-inspired food. Now for the filling, I think you can get as creative as you want to with these. I just have some canned corn, which I don't even have to cook. You just give it a rinse, which is so convenient. And then also some canned beans. And then I chopped up fresh cilantro. I have that cottage cheese sauce. I'm also gonna be using some guacamole. I have pickled jalapeno peppers. To assemble the burritos, I'm just using some large whole grain tortillas. What I like to do is I like to put the rice down first. That way it can absorb any of the liquid from the salsa chicken. So I layer the rice first, I add a spoonful of the chicken and then a little bit of cheese so that the cheese can melt. And then I like to add in some chopped lettuce, cilantro, and just all of the toppings that I love. I am a spicy girl, so I love some spicy pickled jalapenos. And then I'm adding in some guacamole. And just a tip, if you buy the guacamole in the squeezy pouch instead of in a container, it will stay green for much longer. Now I'm just rolling it up. And funny thing is, I don't own a panini press, which would be ideal for this, but I just pulled out my waffle machine and it worked perfectly. So you can give that a try if you don't have a panini press, or you could even use just a really hot cast iron pan. Out of all of the recipes today, I think this one was the most liked recipe for everybody in my family, including myself. We even had leftovers in the fridge and my kids kept asking me if I can make these for lunch the next day. So I hope you do try this recipe because it was a big hit in my household. It was really easy to make and it felt extra special and fun. One of my most favorite things about this time of year is the ability to buy fresh fruits and vegetables from local farm stands. This is one of my favorite things to do with my family, and today we came home with some beautiful kale and fresh asparagus and a few other ingredients for a simple summer dinner. I love firing up the grill on summer nights, and tonight we decided to make steak, but I also wanted to make a vegetable side dish that would cook in about the same amount of time as the steak. So I started just by chopping up some onion and garlic and also some asparagus into smaller bite-sized pieces. That way the asparagus would cook up a little bit quicker than if I were to leave them whole. And also this way I could fit everything in one pan. I'm just heating up a large pan and I'm adding a spoonful of butter and letting it melt. And then I'm going to add in the asparagus, onion, and garlic and just let everything soften for a few minutes before I add any of the kale. While the veggies are softening, I'm just going to prepare my steak. And I do like to keep my steak very simple. I love buying the flaky sea salt. I don't know if you guys have ever tried flaky sea salt, but it is amazing. I actually find it on Amazon, and I'll link the one that I like in the description box below in case you want to try it. It's also really good for finishing your fish. Whenever we make salmon, I like to add flaky sea salt on top just at the end of the cook time. It's to die for. Okay, here we go again. I'm making another rice side dish, and tonight I'm actually giving my rice a little protein boost by using bone broth instead of chicken stock or water. And then I decided to use an infused olive oil for a little bit of extra flavor. Sometimes I'll use butter, but I wanted to try something a little bit different for a change. Once the asparagus has softened and the onions have turned translucent, I'm going to be adding in some kale, which I've just removed from the stem. And then I'm also going to be adding in a handful of cherry tomatoes for a little bit of extra color. And I love tomatoes once they cook and they kind of explode in your mouth when you take a bite. So fun fact, my mom is actually an incredibly talented painter, and she always has such a great eye for color. I definitely didn't inherit her painting skills, but I do feel like cooking is kind of my version of art. I love bringing together different colors with fresh ingredients, and also just creating something that's both beautiful and nourishing for your body, while also tasting hopefully delicious at the same time. And that's one of the reasons I love cooking with fresh produce. I love the colors, I love the flavors, and I especially love that you don't have to do too much to it to make it taste good. So tonight I'm just adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, which is going to help just enhance the flavor. And then I'm also topping it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, a little bit of salt and pepper. In my opinion, sometimes the simplest, freshest ingredients taste the best, although I don't think my kids agree with me tonight for this side dish, but we tried. My barbecue man. How'd they turn out?
A little bit overcooked.
A little overcooked? Oh, I like it like that. Just a little pink.
But yours first, good.
So when plating the steak and the rice and the veggies, I am pulling out my scale simply because I want to make sure I'm getting enough protein tonight. That's something that I like to do on occasion. And tonight I was aiming for 30 grams of protein, so I wanted to make sure I was getting 100 grams of the cooked strip loin steak, along with half a cup of the cooked bone broth rice. I had so much kale left over that I wanted to use up, so consider this recipe a little bonus in today's video. I'm not going to type this one up because it's really more of a whatever's in your fridge kind of salad. And if salads aren't your thing, don't go anywhere because I do still have a really simple sheet pan dinner coming up that I definitely don't want you to miss. For this salad, I'm basically using leftovers from the last couple of days. I had some beans and corn from the burritos, and I also had some pre-cooked beets. That's something that I love to buy from the store. It is a little bit more expensive, but it saves you having to peel and cook the beets and make a giant mess in your kitchen. And it's been one of my favorite salad toppings lately, along with a little bit of goat's cheese. I have some hemp hearts and even some deli turkey meat, which I like to use on occasion for a quick, easy source of protein. And remember the cilantro lime cottage cheese dressing that I made earlier with the burritos? So it actually makes an amazing salad dressing too. I added added just a little bit of extra lime juice. And if I were going back in time, I think I would probably add a small drizzle of olive oil as well. And just tossed everything together in a big bowl. And I forgot to mention, you do want to massage your kale leaves if you're having it as a salad, because that will just tenderize everything and make it just a little bit easier to chew. Honestly, salads are one of the easiest lunches to throw together. I love bringing a salad with me outside and enjoying the beautiful weather, and you don't have to overthink them. Just use whatever you have, mix in lots of colorful ingredients, add in your protein source, even if that's just a deli meat or some extra cottage cheese. For the final meal today, I wanted to keep things as simple as possible with an easy sheet pan dinner. I'm starting out by putting my Italian sausage in the oven first because these are gonna take the longest to cook, and I wanted to give them about 15 minutes or so before I add in the veggies. You may notice some of the same vegetables showing up again, and that's intentional. I do love using up whatever fresh produce that I already have on hand, so feel free to swap out whatever you have in your fridge. I drizzled everything with a little bit of oil, and I'm keeping the seasonings really basic, just adding salt and pepper, because as the sausage cooks, all of the flavor inside of the sausage will seep out and just mingle with the vegetables, and it ends up tasting so delicious without having to add anything extra. Once the sausage is fully cooked through and the veggies have softened, I like to take a big chunk of feta cheese, and then I'm just breaking it apart on top of the warm pan, and I'm not even putting it back in the oven because the pan will just gently warm the cheese. And then I like to top it with some fresh basil leaves and then a squeeze of lemon juice. All of the flavors together taste absolutely delicious. This was a really simple dinner, and again, you could serve it with rice, or if you have potatoes or even some couscous or quinoa, whatever carb that you desire. Well, I hope today's video gave you a few simple meal ideas for these busy summer days. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.